Hey everybody, you're watching The Volkswagen Mechanic. And today we're changing spark plugs in this 2003 Volkswagen Jetta wagon. Right here it says that this is actually a pretty rare brand of cars. Not many people have these things. But anyway, let's get to the spark plugs changing. So we've done 3 down, 1 to go. There's 4 spark plugs, so we did 3. And now we just have this one here on the end.
Are you filming right now?
Yeah, filming.
Maybe you want to tell them that the one right here.
The one right, so they're really hard to get to because they're underneath this air intake here.
Yeah, you can see the tubes right here, the air intake tubes.
Yeah, so and one of them was underneath here, which was really hard.
Extremely hard.
2 were underneath there.
Right, and the outside ones are easy, but.
So now we're on this one down here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's that thing down there. That's the spark plug wire.
Right.
So, first thing you're going to want to do is that spark plug wire down there, that thing. You're going to want to pull that off with some needle nose pliers and make sure to pull off on that little ridge you can probably see there, not the wire, because that might.
You want to hold it down there where you can see the plug wire, and I'll point to the ridge, so you can see the ridge right there.
Yes.
And that's what you want to grab when you pull it off, because otherwise
ooh, this one's gonna be a.
Yeah, we'll get it from this angle.
There we go. Wire off.
Okay.
And
so we're showing you the easiest one, but
so next you have to.
Steps are the same.
Oh, never mind. The wire's already off. So down there, you might. It's too dark to see. Sorry, guys, but there's a spark plug. I'm pretty sure right down there in that dark spot or something like that. Anyway, we need to. So to take it out, you need a. What size is that? Well, it depends on what kind of spark plug you have. But anyway, if it's in a really tight spot, use one of these ones that you can bend anyway. Universal. You can bend any way, like where it was underneath the air manifold there. I mean, air intake manifold. It was really hard to get to, so we had to use one of these. And there's a long shaft with a ratchet.
We've got about probably a 1-foot extension here.
Yeah.
And this is all 3/8 drive. Right here, this is what you need, is 3/8 drive. Because these are kind of frozen, they might be kind of frozen into the block, into the cylinder head, so turn slow. We're going to start off turning really slow once we're on it, just to be careful that we don't break it or have a problem, because it may be kind of seized in there a little bit. And then the other thing that I did is, you notice right here, this is actually cylinder number 4. It's actually ink stamped right here. So what I did is, if you see where it was?
I can see the 4
It was right there. They were all in this holder, and I went ahead and unclipped it so that when I pulled it out, I didn't break the holder
or damage the wire. All the cylinder wires are in this holder here.
They're in holders throughout, which keeps them, it helps them not to lay against the cylinder.
So anyway, here we go, taking it out.
So we just kind of.
So you put it down there, and then you got to be gentle with it, because if you don't, if you wrench on it too hard and the barrel of the spark plug is too thin, it may break off in there, and then you got a real problem. You got to go to like a mechanic or something, and that's.
And just wiggle it on there until you get just the right angle, because they're not straight in there. They're kind of angled a little bit.
If you break it off in there, you'll have to go to a professional mechanic then.
And we've got a little. Can you see this extender tool, Luke? If you can.
Yeah, this is a pipe that
just a piece of pipe that fits over the ratchet handle. I'm fitting it over the ratchet handle. Just gives me a little extra leverage.
Yeah, and we use and the same thing goes for getting this I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not good with words right now for some reason. The same thing goes for changing tires. You put the pipe on, if you have one, and you wrench on it. That's kind of a different ballgame as far as breaking it off. I don't think you can break lugs off, but
probably not. But
That's probably okay.
So I want you to, if you listen, you can hear it squeaking a little bit as I'm loosening it. That little.
Oh, you hear that, guys?
That little sound, and that's why you want to go slow. That's the plug saying, "Hey, I'm kind of sticking in the cylinder here, and I don't want to come out."
Yeah, that's. Ooh, that's kind of. I know, guys. This engine just looks like a jumble of wires and pipes and things. But anyway, right down where that shaft thing is going, that's moving. That's where. And now we just took the pipe off because put it up there because you don't need it anymore. It's coming so easily now. There you go. Show you what the old plug looks like. So this
kind
is
of seized up in there. Let me just.
So, this is what a very, very old plug looks like. Look how rusty that thing. Let me bring it over here, you can see it better. Maybe worse. Look how rusty that thing is. Sorry about this. Anyway, this is how rusty the thing got.
Hold it a little bit further away, does that help?
And then the electrode in the middle. Ooh, this looks like it suffered from some sort of hot damage. I don't know. Kind of. Okay, there we go. Okay, as you notice, sorry about the blurriness, I'm trying to resolve that. The electrode in the middle, which you can't see, but it's the tiny thing in the middle that makes the sparks. It is really tiny compared to the new plug. And then we have this measuring tool that we can called a feeler gauge, where we can measure stuff in there. So the length between the top of this and the electrode. So you stick the feeler gauge inside between the electrode and whatever this top thing
Actually,
is called.
what we've got is we had actually 2 feeler gauges because we got to get 43 thousandths on here. That's the gap. So we're looking for the gap between the grounding part here.
The top thing,
which is, as you can see, is attached to the barrel here, the threads that screw into the cylinder head. So we got the grounding part there, and then the middle part is this part right in here that's hard to see is called the electrode. And that's where the spark is jumping between the grounding portion and the electrode. So we got to get the right gap. So if we stick this in there, actually, I mean, it's pretty sloppy. You can see I can move it around really easily, and that's too much.
Yeah, that's way too much.
So,
and then you get out the new plug. By the way, we got these
I'll do
at
yeah,
we got them at AutoZone, and as you remember, I did my AutoZone ad on that store. I suggest you watch that video and make sure to push the thumbs up button for that. But anyway, my AutoZone ad. But anyway, it's Auto Light, what it's called, the spark plug. So anyway, what we do first is make sure to put some anti-seize on it, because if you don't do that, it'll seize up like the other one, like the old ones we took out.
The big thing is we're just putting it's okay, we can do that in a minute afterward.
So we spread it.
All we're doing is putting a light film here, and we're leaving a little bit of the thread here with nothing.
So it doesn't get into the electrode, because
so we don't want it to get up into here where I'm pointing right there. So we're just going to put a light film around here, so that when we put it back into the cylinder head, it doesn't want to freeze up and kind of rust to the cylinder head.
Because that's what happened with the old plugs. I'm not sure if anyone put that on or not, because we've never changed them.
It may have been forever
before.
since we did it, so that's we can't blame the lack of anti-seize there. But so what we'll do now is, here we have the 2 feeler gauges that make 43 thousandths.
So we need to measure between the ground and the electrode. As you can see, it's much more tighter. You cannot move it around as much in this one.
It just needs to be.
It's not sloppy as the old one was.
It just needs to be a snug fit, and then that means you're going to have the good hot spark jumping. The other thing you would want to do, which we
haven't done yet, is
right here, if we measure from the flat right here, at the bottom of the threads, if we measure from this flat and from this flat, we put the two flats right, we put the two portions of the spark plug together right there, they should look the same. In other words, this one shouldn't be, the new one shouldn't be longer than this one, otherwise the
piston will hit it.
When the piston comes up to compress the fuel-air mixture in the cylinder, which it does,
it will hit
this
the
sticks
spark
down
plug.
in the cylinder. Exactly.
And it will.
And then we have piston to
spark plug, and it will damage it.
It wouldn't be a good thing.
Break it. No, not be good. Anyway.
Alright, so there we got that, and now we'll...
Time to put the new one back in. So like I said, guys, 3 down, 1 more to go. This is the last spark plug we need to put in.
The other thing about spark plugs is... Can you see it here?
Yeah.
Okay. Just handle them gently, and be especially careful right here because this is porcelain.
And if it breaks, that just totally, it's worthless if it breaks, because that's where all the electricity charges through.
In other words, this porcelain, or it's kind of like china if you want to think about it like that. It's an insulator. So if this gets cracked, then it's going to leak the voltage, and the plug is either not going to work at all, or it's going to work in a faulty way. So, and you'll have, the engine will miss or run rough.
Yeah. So make sure to not crack that, and if it does crack, you need a new plug, because either it's, like he said, it's either going to run faultily or it's going to break altogether. So we use these pliers to put it down in there. Needle nose pliers, and then we get our handy dandy universal wrench.
This one doesn't have it, but usually this is a spark plug deep socket, spark plug deep socket, but usually there's a rubber washer down in here so that when you put this part of the plug down in there, it captures. It sticks down into that rubber, and it holds it so that when you go down into the car, it doesn't fall out. This one no longer has the washer, so we're having to use the pliers.
So anyway, we lower it back into that nice deep dark hole we have down there. At least that's what it looks like from camera.
And the big thing is you've got to work with it till you get the right angle, and don't get too impatient with it. And then the other
don't try to hurry.
The other thing is, don't try to hurry and put the ratchet on here. You get it turning with your hands, and once you feel that it's turning in there or threading in, then you can get with the ratchet.
Yeah.
And it's just
so we get our handy dandy universal end and start cranking on it again.
With the universal, it's a lot tougher because now we have several angles to work with.
Yes, but it's it's nice that when you're in tight spaces. Sorry about this black thing, guys, but that's the light that we're working with here.
Why don't you pause it and we'll change to it.
Okay, guys, we just changed the tools. We got rid of the we got rid of the universal end, which I think is this over here, and we just used the regular thing because, or maybe I think it is this though.
We got rid of the universal and just stay with the deep socket.
Yeah, we got rid of the universal and just stay with the deep socket because we're in a more straight place now, so we don't need the universal. It was like when we were underneath this air manifold intake here that we had to use the universal because it was hard to get into. I'm sorry I can't show you the plug when it's down in there, but the lighting isn't too great here, so we can't really get down in there.
Well, once I get it, if you want to bring it over, I'll hold the light for you.
Oh, I guess we can do that, guys.
You can actually
So I guess I can show you guys down there.
You can see it now.
So down there, oh,
Sorry.
oops, sorry guys, the light just unplugged. That was kind of, I got stuck in the, sorry about the moving around. Okay, so here, you can see that, let me, see that,
You had it.
you hold
Just
it.
tilt it.
Oh yeah, okay, see that white thing with sort of a colorish top down in that deep dark hole? Yes, that's a spark plug there. Colorish top. It's got like a pink green on the top.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can see the white porcelain too surrounding it. That's the spark plug down there. That thing in that nice deep dark hole. So anyway.
So they can see the angle too. They can see that it's angled a little bit. It's not just straight in the way we would normally think of things.
No,
so
it's angled.
sometimes you kind of got to be patient and work with it.
Hey, put the wire on now.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to be showing you how to put the wire back on, guys.
Did we show them before about this spine here?
So you see the, yeah, we did. So you see the wire here. That's the wire thing. There's
Where
a
my finger is
spine
right
on
there.
the back of it.
And if you're gonna either when we're putting it back on there or pulling it off, that's where you want to grab.
Yeah, with the pliers, because
Yeah.
you don't want to grab on the main thing. So we'll put it back into that nice deep dark hole and put it back on top of the plug, and hopefully we'll be done. Oh, and then we got to put the engine cover back on, guys. Sorry guys, I didn't get any footage of the engine cover coming off. I actually did start a video at first, then I paused it, and then I ruined it by pressing the home button. I know, I could have probably merged the two videos, but I just decided to start a new one, so I'll just show you how to put the engine cover back on.
Well, we can show them that the engine cover.
So anyway,
You can show them right here. See, it just slides down over this, and then there's a nut at the back which will
so as
show
you
them.
can see, there's these fasteners here. Fasteners here where that and that the engine cover slides over, and then there's a nut that goes up there on that bolt thing. So anyway, the engine cover is this. As you can see, it says 2.0 because that's Volkswagen.
And then it's these right here, these two things here with the rubber grommets in them.
Yes.
Slide down over those bolts that he was showing you.
Yes, and this
So-
big thing in the middle is the oil dipstick thing. So first of all, we need to take out the oil dipstick because we don't want that in there. I'll just put it over here in the newspapers. And then we'll show you how to put this back on. So you want to make sure to get it down on top of those fasteners we showed you underneath really good.
And you got to clear that tube right there.
You also have to clear that oil tube down.
Which helps it line up. I mean, when you get the tube centered here and you got it back on the stud there, then those other two, which are right here, just kind of pop down.
You might have heard that gong gong when it went down. I don't know if you did, but anyway, now we have to put the nut on at the back.
And we're
Right
done.
there. And then we'll be done. Hopefully. Anyway. Put the dipstick back in. So that's where we'll be putting the nut, right there on that bolt. The lighting isn't great in this video. Again, I'm sorry about that, guys. But anyway, we'll just have to live with it, because this is the lighting we've got. So I'll be back once we get the tools ready. Okay, guys, sorry about that. That nut was just stuck inside the wrench thing, so we had to get it out. That's what it looks like there. It's a tiny little thing. but it was stuck inside there. So
I think it's 10 millimeter. 10
11
millimeter.
11 millimeter
Is the
nut.
socket.
So yeah, it was
11 millimeter socket here, just to.
It was stuck inside that socket, so that's why I paused you for a second and got it. Oh, we had to get it out.
Yep, and then we'll just snug it. Doesn't have
Now
to
we
go
just
down
gotta
very
snug
tight.
it. All right.
We're good.
Hopefully we are done now. Now we'll get rid of the light here and shut the hood. Oh wait, we gotta get our handy dandy towel out of here.
Don't shut it.
And our handy dandy pipe for the wrench.
We're gonna leave it up until we fire.
And we're gonna fire up the car just to make sure the spark plugs are good before we shut the hood. Hey, that rhymes. It runs good. It's good. Alright, now shut the hood. I don't think we left anything. I don't think we left anything in there. Sorry about the blurriness for some reason. Alright, hood shut. We're good. Right, guys. I guess this brings us to the end of the video. So, thank you guys for watching this video by Volkswagen Mechanic. And please make sure to slap that like button down there. And make sure to just punch that subscribe button too. And make sure to hit the bell icon after you hit the subscribe button to make sure you get all notifications on all my new videos. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to tune in on future videos that I'll be doing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.